That's some really funny stuff. God
Yeah, it
bless you.
was. That was a killer set. If you were to look up what the perfect set in the history of doing sets, you know, you could look up Jack Benny, Sid Caesar, nothing compared to that. Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis at the Atlantic City, nothing.
Zero.
They don't cut anything on
Zero.
that.
I love that. And I know you love the old comedians. But so you must have been asked this question 1,000 times. How did you decide to do this for a living? I mean, where did that come from?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. I'll tell you, there's really one answer to that. It's 22 and a half weeks of sobriety. And, you know, it just keeps you going strong. You know, every day's a blessing now. And I just want to let the viewers at home know this. And I hope I don't embarrass you, but I need to say something that needs to be said. And if it embarrasses you, never invite me back. And then I know my mazel's in place. But here, you as an individual, not you. You. That's right, you. I'm talking to you. You. When I was going through this whole long, drawn-out trial, I don't need to get into the details or mention the names, and when the whole ADL and the Abe Foxmen were, you know, with the whole protest in front of the club and everything, and the trial, you were there for me. You showed up, you sat there in the gallery in the front row, and I couldn't have asked for anything. You are a loyal friend, and there's not many people in the business that are loyal like Jake Ehrenreich. You. That's right, you.
I know this is going somewhere, right? I know where it's going. But you know what? So here's the thing.
Yes.
So Mike is obviously a very funny guy. But there are other things about Mike that I'm not sure you know. So you know that he's an ordained rabbi, but I don't know if you know that Mike is very involved with the older comedians, especially from the Catskill Mountains and the classic comedians. He just mentioned a couple just then. Tell us what you do, because what you do is amazing.
What I do, you are correct, is beyond amazing.
Now
there are not many people that are able to do what I do. If you were to, you know, line up 1 billion people, there's no one could do what I do. Well, I have a gift, but you want to know something? I'm going to tell each and every one of you and all the millions of people watching right now, and I don't care. Someone will translate, you know. So what you do, I can't do. You have a gift. You are a loyal. I don't even know where to begin. But look at your hair. I hope I die and come back to life as your hairbrush. How do you have such great hair?
I'm going to tell you what Mike does.
Okay.
So Mike has an organization that helps older comedians who maybe don't have means, and he helps them. First of all, he became a chaplain and then a rabbi, and he goes and is with them in the hospital when they're sick, and then actually he sometimes pays for their burial, and he was paying out of his own pocket for a few of these comedians for a number of years, and now he has a 501c3 that does this. What's the name of the organization?
It's called the Jewish Burial Fund for the Performing Arts. And let me tell you, there are many performers, you know, when they don't have funds, but when they do have funds, I just go in there and take them. You know, it's amazing. They'll just leave the checkbooks on the counter, and I do a wonderful. I've been friends with so many wonderful comedians, and I'm truly blessed. I was very good friends with the late great Will Jordan, very close with Joe Franklin, Mickey Freeman, Professor Irwin Corey, who I loved dearly, and you know, we
performed at the Friars, all of us.
That's right, but that's who I am, Jake. That I am such an incredible. I don't even know how there's so many hours in the days to fit in all the work I do. Do you know? I work as a volunteer as well. I do a lot of volunteer work on top of this. And you're asking, how does this guy find the time? This guy's doing it all. He's here at the Triad doing Jake Ehrenreich shows and all. But yes, I do. I work as a volunteer as well for a suicide prevention hotline. And my record's 15 and 32 right now. And really working on those numbers, you know. trying to get that in, but yeah, no, I'm doing great with that. But the people that called, oh my God, they're so annoying. Seriously, this one guy
how annoying are they?
I'm glad I asked that. There's so one guy that called, I couldn't get him off the phone. You know, he was telling me about how his wife left him and he lost his job. It's like, you know what? Just I'm eating. You know, put it on the note. You know.
Wait a minute.
But you, no one can do what you do. And the way you do it with such class, you and your beautiful wife, Lisa, has a beautiful brand new baby boy. It's like amazing. Where do you find the time and channel all this energy with brushing all that thick hair of yours? Where do you have the time?
Your hair's looking good, actually.
Thank you.
I was meaning to tell you,
Thank
it looks
you.
really good.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask you something.
You.
Where did you grow up, by the way?
I grew up in Queens, New York,
for real?
the
Queens,
MS.
New York.
But I spent most of my time there, and the other half I was growing up in a Indian reservation, the Pequot tribe in Connecticut, and close to Elizabeth Warren's. What?
Where did the comedy come from? Pequot or Queens?
No, they came. It was a combination, mostly from Queens, though. I was very close with my grandfather, who is, you know, very funny guy, and I guess a little bit rubbed off.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So, you're a rabbi.
Yes, I am.
What was your Jewish upbringing?
I went to yeshiva my whole life.
This is not a joke, right?
This is not. Well, what? The other stuff was a joke. Yeah, no. I grew up going to yeshiva.
Which yeshiva?
I went to quite a few of them. I was quite popular. They would actually fight over me, believe it or not. It's no, you take them. No, you take him. You know, that's one of the wonderful things about growing up in Queens. There are so many of them. You know, just bouncing around. Yeah. So I went to yeshiva growing up, and then I studied in Israel for 2 years, and I came back. I got my smicha. I learned in the kollel here on the Upper West Side. I'm a fully ordained rabbi, and in case any of you were feeling like getting married or you know someone that's about to check out, I'm actually. I just have like an end of summer. We just had a promotion. I was running funeral packages, my platinum wedding funeral packages. I write an original eulogy. I'm not using a template. I'll do, if you want me to show up graveside, I'll even throw a little dirt on, I'll do the whole, just not too much because I have a bad back now. It's a sciatic nerve. But you know what? If we could talk afterwards.
I love that. Are you the guy, there was an old story about a guy had died and he was so terrible. I mean, you couldn't, this was the worst person on earth. And no rabbi wanted to, you probably would have said something. No rabbi wanted to say anything. So they searched and searched, and finally they found a rabbi like 500 miles away. And he said, look, it's not right for someone to not be spoken about after they pass. He said, I'll figure out something to say. So he comes, and everybody's at the funeral. He gets up, he says, his brother was worse. Let me ask you, from your childhood, do you have any photographs? Did you bring any photographs? A bar mitzvah photograph?
Yeah, I think we have something over there.
Shannon, do we have a bar mitzvah photograph?
Oh, there you go. That's, that's great. I'm actually still living off my savings bonds right now that matured from my bar mitzvah. When I was 13, I became a man, but now that I'm 24, I guess, I could become a woman, I guess, it's, now's not exactly the best time to be a man in show business, I don't need to tell you guys.
You're like 45 years old in this picture. That's your what was it? Rosh Hashanah? What are you doing with the show for?
Why are you making, that's actually my J-date profile. That's not my bar mitzvah. That's not my bar mitzvah photo.
Do you have a real bar mitzvah photo?
I think we do have a real.
Ah.
We got a bunch of.
Not my family.
They're not my family either. Those are stand-ins.
These are stand-ins. Generic. You can go to the store. You got a bar mitzvah photo family? I'll take it then. Who's who?
The one in the far left is. Who is that? Central Casting Center. The one in the dress was a girl I was seeing. The one in the back is looks like Seinfeld. No, that's my mom. That's my sister Daniela. That's my uncle Philip. that sexy little beast with the hat, that's me.
Yes.
The guy in the tux, that's my father, allegedly. And that's... and the one on the far right's my sister. And those two on the front there, we just couldn't get them to move. And the photographer said, you know, just go stand behind those two
So
people.
let me ask you a question. At this age, were you funny?
Not at all. At this age, am I funny? That's...
Now you're funny.
Yeah.
But at that age, not yet.
No, not even close.
What,
No, I couldn't even buy it.
seriously speaking, when did you think, wow, I'm going to be a comedian? Because I'm curious, you're very, very funny. I mean, this is natural.
No, I really am.
You are.
You could tell by the audience response and all the millions of viewers at home just, you know, sending, you know, hate mail. No, it turns out when I was 16 years old, I had this epiphany that, you know what, I have this gift, this tremendous power that I'm able to make people laugh on the drop of a dime, you know. I'm able to turn it on and off. Like today, you know, I kept it off, you know, but other nights I could just turn it on. But no, I knew when I was 16 years old, around when I spoke at my great-grandmother's funeral, they needed someone to talk, and I just got up there, you know, I had a whole rider and everything. You know, I was negotiating the stuff for myself back then, you know, but I got the green room and I spoke at my great-grandmother's funeral, and
I got to tell you something.
I got booked at more funerals.
Right. In all seriousness, you're funny, but you're kind. And by the way, tonight, I was fortunate enough.
I can't even begin to tell you how kind.
Shut up!
Okay.
I was fortunate enough to spend some time with Sid Caesar. And we were at his bedside when he was ill. And he said, work clean. Work clean. You don't have to work dirty. You work clean. You are kind. You are very funny. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me thank Mike Fine for being here. We'll be right back.
You.